God. Alright, that'll have to do. Holy shit. Oh, God. The timing is awful. The timing, my God, the timing is bad. But we're all good. How is everybody? Feeling good? Yeah, we got all sorts coming next week. We got all the fucking Foundry. We got the good stuff. Oh, yeah. Things look pretty good with my editor as well. So it looks like I get more time to make big-ass videos for you guys, which is fucking kick-ass. I'm dying to make one. It's been so goddamn long. So goddamn long. Where I could just sit down, make something fun. Make something fun. But that's not why we're here today. In 3, in 2, in 1. Hello, ballers and a brofist to you all. It's Friday. It's back here again. Everybody's feeling delicious because Friday's arrived. School is over. Work's over for most of us anyway, wherever you are in the world. If you're watching on YouTube, it's a Saturday. You should be done by Saturday. Come on. Ain't nobody working on a Saturday. Well, some people are, and that fucking sucks. But wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a good old fucking time. And if not, let's hope we can cheer you up with some crazy wow stories, because it's time for drama. It's time for the drama. It's time to look back all the crazy shit that goes on in those guilds that you don't think exists. Just last week, many of us didn't know about the nightmare that is going on in normal modes in World of Warcraft because we've moved on. We've moved on, and therefore we don't see what life is like down there, below the pit. Below the pit, but we're going to find out. We're going to find out. I'm slightly off center. There we go. And there's more things to uncover. I feel a little bit like Harrison Jones. I keep going into the dark depths of World of Warcraft recently. And what I uncover is like tombs of evil. Like I open it and ghosts and shit fly out of it. So there's another story about that coming on. Another video about the dark depths. About the darkness that lurks below. We'll figure it out. Don't you worry about it. So, what goes on in those guilds? I have an interesting little play on things today. A little bit of a twist. Last week we had no chat, which was a bummer. But what we did have was one of the best drama times ever on the Saturday on the web show. The Lonely Lady. I'm sure many of you remember that tale. One story, 1 hour, one almighty conclusion. And it was great. Today, because we didn't have chat last week, we had the Twitter. The VOD is available on Twitch, by the way. For those who wanted to see it, be warned though, it does contain pictures of dicks. Alright? People just can't contain themselves with the power of Twitter. And therefore the dick pics will come in. And that's a sad, sad, sad state of affairs. But we tried it. We tried it. And it was a disaster. So we won't do it again. So this time I request from the audience, the live audience mainly, I request your opinion. I'm going to present to you several tales read around the campfire that is my home. And we're going to ask you for your opinion on whether or not this person committed an act of dickishness or bold bravery. Yeah? Because sometimes we do things and we think what we're doing is justified. I am justified in this action. And then you look back and you think, maybe I was a bit of a twat. Maybe I was a bit of a twat. So we'll see. We'll see. So I'm going to present the first one to you. And we'll have a little bit of a vote at the end and see what you guys think about this. We had a lot of stories from the ladies this week, which is awesome. Many more girls, fresh girls, bringing them in, shipping them in, saying hi. So hello to all you guys. This one came in from Lady Ashley. And it goes a little something like this. Are you ready? Hey, Preach. This is the second drama time I've sent you. This one is dedicated to Ghost. Instantaneous bad start, right? This one is dedicated to Ghost, who takes no shit. And this is my story about not taking shit from a guy who used to, key phrase there, used to be my friend. All right, so one, this would be a Ghosty celebrated story where we're trying to behave much the way Ghost does. Key point there, most of what me and do in our interactions with Mr. Ghosty is kind of, caricatures. So behaving in such a way might not end the best for everybody concerned. Alright? Just something to bear in mind there. Just something to bear in mind. After migrating my 60 rogue to another server, following some drama on my previous realm, she had to leave because of drama. Right? That's the base. That's That's the bread in our sandwich. We're starting off there. We had to leave the server because of drama. Okay? Just bear that in mind. With my old guild, I joined a couple of friends I'd met online playing Counter-Strike 1.6. One of them was really decent, who I still speak to this day and play with from time to time. The other guy, who was called Koofy, was rather the opposite. Koofy, a real elitist type prick. Alright, Koofy? Who raided in the best guild of the realm. You're one of those guys. Who are the worst people in WoW? It's generally not the best players. It's not. It really isn't. Most of them just can't be asked with people who are bad at the game. That's true. If you're really bad at the game, the best players, most of them, just can't be bothered. And they'll try and just stick to their own thing. They're not asked. The worst players in WoW are the guys who are average. They're the absolute worst, aren't they? The guys who are alright. They know about moving petals on Yanu. They know that. They know the mechanic. They know what's going on there. Yeah, a little bit of knowledge. Very dangerous. A little bit of knowledge. Very, very fucking dangerous. Okay, so Kofi's a real elitist type prick who played in the best guild. He loved to let you know he was up there with the best geared rogues. He is a rogue. Sorry, Kofi. Sorry, Kofi. You are a rogue. And had just finished his full set by finally getting his Bloodfang chest. His pride and joy. He was overjoyed. I never was a rogue back then. I did get the robes of transcendence. I didn't particularly care. I didn't enjoy being a priest. I was a priest, but I didn't enjoy it. Yay, I got my chest. I couldn't give a fuck. I couldn't give a shit. But I know that a lot of people were very excited to get their little Neffy chests. Very, very important time. A month or so passed, and spending some time on Vent with these guys, for some reason or another, he gave out his account details to me to generally just have a go on a few of his chars. Alright? At this time, we was all cool and fairly good, and it says this in quotation marks, friends. Fairly good friends. I thought anyway. Even putting up with his cocky attitude and elitist personality, Kofi. One of the people who always asked for a hand with some, boosting Kofi's ults, and so on and such. When it came down to me asking Kofi for help, he was too busy. So, our man Kofi here, rogue, Bloodfang rogue, yeah, the cream of the crop, the creme de la creme, is the type of guy who wants you to help him, but is always busy if you should ask him for help. This didn't bother me at the time because I don't mind being helpful. You do. You're a liar. You do. Everybody minds being helpful if it's not reciprocated. They do. It's human nature. You do. If you're always helping and not getting anything back in return, you're going to get a bit pissed off. You know you are. You know it. Some time passed and him forgetting I had his details, I logged one of the vent channels to join in with the conversation and stumbled across a conversation he was having with another member of the guild. And much to my anger, he was giving me a lot of shit. Uh-oh. He was talking about me both personally and about my in-game skills. You done goofed, Kofi. You done fucking goofed. I lost my shit. Quietly. That's the important thing. She quietly lost her fucking mind at this point. Lost her fucking mind. But quietly. Devious like. Sly. Under the radar. Not calling it out in the open. Not doing that. Quietly losing fucking mind. And I just quietly left the vent channel. Now this is where people start to seethe, don't they? They bubble. Right? They bubble. They bubble and they simmer. Kofi obviously was unaware that I had heard this conversation, and a few hours later logged off for the night. By this point I was absolutely fuming about what I had heard, and jumped onto his account, logged into his pride and joy rogue who was geared to the nuts, and started disenchanting his stuff one by one, leaving his Bloodfang chest until the end. Now, he doesn't know this is going on. You took so much pleasure out of what you were doing that you actually left his favourite item till last, despite that he wouldn't know you did that. Despite that he wouldn't know that you did that, you left it till last like a real twist of the knife towards the end, okay? With a smile on my face, I disenchanted the chest. I made a level 1 alt on my account so I could forward all the mats across. I didn't stop there. Didn't end there. I logged every single one of his characters, and the ones that could disenchant, I did so. I sent all the mats over, including any gold, any mats, any BOEs, anything of value, and sent it all to my alt and then listed it on the auction house. Just before finishing with his account, I opened a ticket stating that my account had been hacked, which would result in his account being suspended for a few days while they investigated. So she then contacted the GM from his account, saying that he had been hacked. Yeah? He started to get the picture. 4 or 5 days had passed. I was on the level 1 alt, which had housed all the stuff I had taken, when I received a whisper from him asking who the fuck this was and why did you fuck my account over. He had checked the auction house looking for some of the BOEs I had taken and seemed to piece together that it was this character that was selling his stuff. I shit my knickers. Yeah, knicker shitting. It's gone down. Knicker shitting. Then out of pure randomness he asked, "Is this?" and named a random person from the guild. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Is this Bazwai? Are you Bazwai? I didn't know at the time, but a few days before, he had fallen out with the other rogue in the guild who had access to his account. They fell out with regards to him being given more gear. I said, no, but Baswai paid me to log your account and destroy it for him. I then logged off immediately. Baswai, you just got thrown under the biggest bus in the world. You just got blue shelled. Yeah? You just got blue shelled. Big time. You just got blue shelled, Baswai. And you did nothing. You did nothing at all. But you got blue shelled. And that went down. You weren't even in first. This was the last I heard of it for a few days until some drama appeared in trade chat which was about this situation. My friend had reported him to his guild officers as they were really good friends. Baswai, the poor guy who I blamed it on, was kicked from the guild for doing nothing at all. Not only that, but my friend logged his account, Baswai's account, and started disenchanting some of his gear so he would know how it felt. You feel that, Baswai? You feel it? You did fuck all. You did nothing. You did nothing. You lost your guild spot and someone then fucked your account over. And you're like, what? What's going on? What the shit is going on? What the fuck? Bastard! Fucking bastard! I felt bad for Baswai as it had nothing to do with him. However, now when you put however in there, I don't think you felt as bad as you probably should. I feel bad for you, but the thought of my old friend logging onto his account to see what had happened was worth it. It was sorry, Baswai, totally worth it. All right, sorry, but worth it. But absolutely worth it. Still to this day, Kofi has no idea it was me. Not a single clue. We stopped speaking a few months after that without him even knowing. Mainly because I couldn't stand him. That was the last time he wronged me and still makes me laugh thinking about it today. Chat! Dick move or justice? You decide. You decide. I think way over the top. Honestly. I think way over the top. But as soon as Baswai got dragged into this, that's where you goofed. That's where you goofed. Plus, trashing someone else's account is just sad as fuck. That's tragedy in all forms. Don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, so bad. So bad. Dick move, justice. It's split decision. Biggest dickus. Silliest soddus. Justice has been served. You guys are evil. All of you are absolutely evil. Evil bastards. All of you. Alright. Now we fall into a tale of sadness and woe. This time, I want the chat to bear in mind, is what's about to happen actually the fault of our author? Or perhaps is it someone else's fault? Maybe. At least maybe partially. Maybe not at all. Who knows? This one is called The One Who Dies in Fire. We all know that guy. Dies all the time. You don't know why. At some point, you've tried the same part of an encounter 10 times, and still they manage to die. And you ask yourself, how is this possible? How do you not know what's about to happen? I question myself, how can that do that? How can it be? Hello, Preacher, I'm a big fan. I watch your videos. I have a lot of stories to share, but I thought I would tell you the story of how I became known as the one who dies in fire back in the Burning Crusade. It started in 2007 when I started at a new school and a bunch of my classmates spoke about World of Warcraft. I had played Warcraft 3, but the concept of an MMORPG was unknown to me, as it was to many of us. Naturally, I decided to play it cool, so I didn't ask my classmates about it, to avoid looking like a clueless idiot. At which point you're like, I don't remember this, maybe I was like this once, but at which point did you not want to ask questions for fear that you would look like an idiot because you didn't know something? Like, you'd never heard of this thing. You instead of going, oh, right, what's an MMO? That question is too much. It's one too far. They will laugh at me for asking such a question. I better not do it. I better stay quiet like I know everything. I'm the brooding, smouldering know-all, and I know everything. I went home and asked my closest IRL friend, and he described to me what it was. The seed was planted, and me and my friend decided to start playing World of Warcraft. We talked about it for weeks, getting hyped and stocking up with a lot of snacks and Coke for the day. That's Coca-Cola, okay? Coca-Cola. We would start WoW together. And a few weeks later, once we got swag cash money, we both headed out and bought WoW. The adventure begins. WoW was the only thing we had been talking about for weeks, and once the game was installed, I was puzzled by the character creation screen. The installation probably took an hour, but deciding on a character name probably took 2 hours. I fucking can't stand that. Seriously? 2 hours to pick a name. This is why my characters are all called Preach. Because, yeah, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not spending 2 hours like, this could seriously affect. It's probably why I ended up with such a silly online moniker. Because I should have spent more time. I should have considered the future. I should have considered it. 2 hours to pick a name? Nope. Like the alpha males we were, we decided to roll Night Elf males. Nothing says Butch. Nothing says I like Conan more than being a Night Elf male. It's a solid testosterone-ridden choice. That's what that is. I went for a hunter, and my friend went for a priest. A male Night Elf priest. Male Night... That's what I want to be doing for the rest of my time playing WoW. That's that turns me on. I want to be part of that. I love it. That's it. I'm sold. I want to be doing that all day. I can't help but log into my character and want to see that all the time. I just want to see that all the time. That sounds amazing. We ran around and killed mobs, but unfortunately my pet died. And I did not know you could resurrect it. I thought it was gone forever. Well, that didn't last very long, did it? Shit. Well, so I went melee hunter with only raptor strike. It got boring, so I deleted the character. Yeah. We decided to try orcs and horde instead. I tried a rogue, an orc rogue. You know... There's a lot of things inside me, because of my history with raiding, that make me know, in my heart of hearts, I should be an orc rogue right now in the game. But then there's modern me, who has happily decided not to pursue the world first race and all that kind of stuff. And that person says to me, fuck that. Yeah? At some point, it's just too much. At some point, you have to say no and not be an orc rogue. Swobu. No. I would need so many deviant fish. It's not even worth. We got to the Barrens, but I got bored. Rushing into a pack of 4 mobs and attacking wasn't very fun. I didn't learn about stealth until months later. Years later, I learned I could stealth, when the character was long gone. Finally, I asked my classmates to join them as Alliance, which I did. My other IRL friend went horde on another server, so despite all our weeks of planning, we never actually got to play together anyways. It's probably for the best. IRL friendships can be ruined by World of Warcraft, it's got to be said. My first proper character was a human male mage. Of course it was. Ooh. What is that? What's that supposed to be? Are we building a ball of stuff? Ooh. Ooh. That boogie boogie that human male casters do. Can't wait. This is exciting. I'm doing it. Excitement beckons with my bubble bubble bubble. So fucking good. A human male mage. Because my classmates said that they needed water. Class. It is that bad. Human male mages are really bad. But still, if your classmates ever ask you for a class, think long term. We really need water. We really need water. We do. We really need water. You should be a mage. We only did their guild only did Karazhan at the moment. I was hyped and started meleeing my way to level 10 before finding out about spells at level 8 or 9. The leveling process to 70 went pretty smooth once I got the hang of it. I progressed quite fast. It helped that I spent most of my days at school bothering the other players about dumb questions. I asked a lot of questions and got a lot of answers. My first raid experience came at level 50 or so. I had found a group for Sunken Temple. Was in the middle of a run when a classmate logged on and said they were going to go to Zul'Gurub for mounts and asked if I wanted to come. Apparently the minimum item level was way below 60, so I gladly accepted. My friends told me to lead the charge, and I mounted up, ran first, and got one-shotted by the skull mobs while they laughed their asses off at me on Ventrilo. Well played. Still got your water though, right? I knew that maybe if I used all my kiting knowledge as a mage that my friends had told me about... Did you know frost mages can kill anything in the game because nothing can touch them? I tried kiting the Zul'Gurub mobs without success. Resist! 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 What's going on? Resist! Eventually we cleared it though with no mounts dropping. I finally reached 70 on a Wednesday afternoon. I love this. It's like you remember it so clearly. So clearly. Like it was a Wednesday afternoon. After having gone home early from school to rush the last 2 levels. He remembers the first cap character. I love moments like that. Knowing that my classmates would raid their weekly Karazhan that night. With a few hours to spare, I reached level 70. But then I was told that it was common to then begin gaining gear. And that being level capped was not quite enough to start raiding. But I'm level 70. I can't get any stronger than this. I'm capped. Right, bros? I'm capped. What the fuck? My friends were nice, though. And they let me come anyways. They would carry the shit out of me that night. I wasn't very good, but I was pretty lucky. Out of 11 bosses, I got 9 pieces of loot. Remembers it so clearly. I love it. Raiding had me hooked. With these IRL mates, we continued to clear Kara. We also stepped into Zul'Aman, and I became a better raider. We tried expanding to a 25-man guild, but could never make the full leap. We killed Gruul, Magtheridon, and even a few of the bosses in SSC and Tempest Keep, but eventually it all fell apart. At this point, I considered myself a great raider, though. So I decided to apply for one of the better guilds on the server. A guild that was running Mount Hyjal on a weekly basis. Oh, yeah. Yeah? Now we're moving up. Mount Hyjal, weekly, alright? That's like 5 bosses, bro. That's fucking, we're pretty serious. Mount Hyjal, do you do Black Temple? No. No. Pop your brakes, kid. Pop your brakes. We're doing Mount Hyjal, and that's it. Just Hyjal, because it's the best. We're never leaving it. I got in. At the time, I had +2 weapon damage enchant on my Zul'Aman staff. Despite this, I still managed to get in, so I assume my application was good. Question. Question. Is an application ever good enough for a real guild to allow something like that to slide? And I answer, I don't need the chat for this. No. No application is that good. No application is ever that good. What you done did, what you done did was join a not very good guild. I'm sorry to say. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes on. We'll see. I became a solid raider of the team. Solid raider of the team. And we went on to clear Hyjal. This is where the trouble started. Which boss? And why? You got 10 seconds, chat. Mount Hyjal. Which boss and why did things start to go wrong for our Solid Raider. Which boss was the one where it was like, yeah, okay, you need to not do this anymore. Here we go. Archimonde would be approved to be a roadblock for me. Despite having the item that slowed your fall, as well as my own slow fall, blink and ice block, I managed to die almost every time from falling damage. Why? 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 I don't get it. I didn't get it then, and I don't get it now. You start coming down, right? You start coming down, and then you press the button, and that's it. There is nothing else to it. You go up, you start coming down, and then you press the button. That's all there is to it. There is literally nothing else at all. It's so easy. Come on. You're in the air for like 10 seconds to figure this out. You're like, oh, I'm in the air. Am I coming down yet? No. Am I coming down yet? No. Now I'm coming down. And I'm all right. It's all good. We're done. We're done. We're safe. We're safe. Sometimes I would ice block so early that it would disappear before I came back down. I don't know about that, mages, but that's fucked up if that's the case. Another time I blinked midair without it doing anything. I just sucked. Coincidentally, I also started to get bored of my mage at this time, because the rotation was basically just Scorch and Fireball with the occasional Pyro, and most of my time in Hyjal was spent on decursing. Mages never signed up for decursing, did they? The amount of mages who wanted to quit when decursing, if there weren't enough resto druids, mages lose their fucking minds at this. You have to decurse mages. Like, what? Are you fucking... I'm re-rolling. Fuck this. I am a mage, and I do not decurse. That is not why I'm here, motherfucker. I will re-roll before I help the raid in any way. I'm fucking serious. I don't even have raid frames. I have no idea who's dead or alive. I'm fucking serious. This is a TBC mage. We don't give a shit. We don't give a fuck. Not enough resto druids. Recruit immediately. Recruit. I had decided to level a gnome female warrior on the side. Can I ask you a question? How many are guilty of playing your main, but leveling and all, on the side for fun, not spending all day with it, and suddenly it seems so much more fun than that character you spend all the time on, doesn't it? Grass is always greener. And I much more enjoyed playing that character. I asked our GM if I could switch main, and he said that as long as I don't die from fall damage, I could. One must question the logic that if one can't survive falling on a mage, that a warrior is probably not the wisest of choices to go for next. GM, I'm not sure I would recommend such things. I'm not sure I would. I did have to finance a second set of shadow resistance gear for Mother Sharaz though, as my mage had already got it. My warrior quickly became one of the top DPSs in the guild, and I was always in the solid top 3. But the event that would change my WoW life forever happened in the Black Temple. We had steadily been progressing and had reached the Illidari Council. I was still wearing a tier 4 helm, and I had my eyes on the helm from this council. I can't remember its name. I had it. And I was also the plate wearer with the most DKP. So if it dropped, it would go to me. We started with a few practice tries to get the hang of the fight, but we had some silly deaths, some of them even from me. The council had a lot of mechanics. Did it? Did it? Let's ask the chat one more time. What was the best job at the Illidari Council? I imagine there's not many of you who did progress on the Illidari Council, but there was a wonderful job that needed to be done on the Illidari Council. About 3 of them, actually, that were the worst things ever. And Blizzard would never put them back in the game. But yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. The council had a lot of mechanics, but two that would haunt me were the fire that spawned on the ground. Wasn't fire. Oh, Arathmis! Arathmis knows. Interrupting the healer. Interrupting the healer. The rogues who had to do that. Melee immune. Melee immune. Interrupt the fucking healer. Oh, I felt bad for the rogue who used to do it. Except our rogue was real lazy and loved doing it. Just AFK up on the platform all fight. Good times. Good times. But yeah, it was not fire that spawned on the ground. It was not fire. Oh, man, was there fire? Was there fire? Did one of them flame strike? Maybe. And the rogue that would randomly target people and attack them. I continued dying for more tries, but our raid leader kept saying, he will do better next time, and brushed it off. You could hear his frustration starting to increase though. The last try came on a try 2.5 hours into the raid. Over 2 hours of wiping when I managed to die not twice, but 3 times during one fight. First I was soul stoned, but I managed to die in the AoE. No harm done, I thought. I resurrected with low HP, only to get targeted by the rogue and dead again within seconds. No problems, I thought, as I accepted a combat res, only to have been combat resed in a pool of AoE and die my 3rd time. Now, this is the question I put to the chat. Whose fault was it that he died? At least partially. Whose fault was it that this DPS warrior died? Now, I'm not saying it's completely not his fault, because dying a lot and being the only guy who does kind of sucks. But there is at least 2 people here who are also to blame for the death of this warrior. There are. And they have to take some partial fucking credit for the death of this warrior. Rezzers? No, Rezzers can't kill him. That doesn't make sense. Healers? No. 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 No, not the Rezzers. No. The healers? The tanks. The tanks are partially responsible for this. A melee DPS won't die in AoE damage if you mood him out of it. If the boss is nowhere near, guess who doesn't die? And the other warrior, tank, I assume is a warrior, the other tank deals with the rogue. That's how that fight works. So I'm just saying, that is a tank issue. That is a tank issue. Unless you just like AFK'd and stood in AoE. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just saying. Tanks can stop that. The raid leader for bringing you. As a tank there, I would take responsibility for that guy's death. Depending. I can't read the situation. I felt so bad I wanted to sink through my chair. Our raid leader told me that everybody was angry whispering him. And that he had to replace me with a guy who was waiting outside. I half stoned out. I went to Ironforge with my head down as the other continued. I feel sad though. I don't know what that's like, but I imagine that's pretty fucking awful. I've never been replaced for bad play. I've replaced myself if I know I'm playing badly, but I've never been sent like, we have to replace you. This isn't working. That must suck. It must be a fucking downer. Pick up your chin though and work hard. What made it worse is they killed it not 15 minutes later on their first try with the new raider. The guild had killed the council for the first time. I was not there, and I felt bad. What? Oh, you're going to miss the first opening of the Illidan door? Dude, that is an epic shit kill to miss the first kill of. It is. What made it worse is that the helm I needed so badly had dropped, and nobody could even use it for main spec. A tank got it for his off spec. The tank that let you die. Conspiracy? I think so. Conspiracy? The next day at school, all my classmates had heard about the story and they mocked me for it. The guild would not let it slide either. And while I never had a raid as bad as that one since, every time I died, they would ask if I stood in the fire again. I continued raiding through the end of TBC and early into Wrath of the Lich King and still raid with some of them today. And they still refer to me as the one who dies in fire. I have a lot of stories in WoW, but this one just stuck with me the most. Despite being a solid raider, eventually a class leader, and finally an officer, and despite being a frequent top 3 deepser, and even winning the drops on DPS on Kill Jaden, and a few bad rogues, I never got any recognition for my abilities in the game. And whenever I play with these friends, I will just be the guy who dies in fire. Poor lad! I think you should take it up with your tanks, for real. I think you should take it up with your tanks. I think the tanks have to take some responsibility for that. Just a little bit. Right. Oh, whoa, whoa! Right. Okay. A story from the perspective of a 10-year-old girl. Okay. This is a story from the perspective of a 10-year-old girl. I love it. Oh my God. Let me introduce myself. I'm a good lady. I started playing. Oh my God. Whoa. There you go. I started playing back in the good old vanilla. Going against the universal creed for all girls to roll a night elf, druid or priest. No, I being Captain Badass, rolled a human warlock. My friends actually gave me shit for not being a healer. I love this. I thought I was the hot shit though. My dad got me into the game and he started me off doing little nitpick. Your dad was the one who gave you the most shit, right? You should be a healer, priest. Yeah, that's what you should be. Daughter. You want to play this game? You should definitely be that. That's what you should do. He started me off doing nitpicky shit for him, like leveling his fishing and raising. Are you ready? This is what his dad had her doing. This is genius, by the way. Leveling his fishing and his unarmed skill. Sure, you can play. Sure, come here. Let me show you how this game works. In fact, you can do me a big favor. You can. You can do me the best favor ever. I want you to not use any weapons because that would be boring, and just attack this mob and see what it gets up to 400. You're leveling it for me. I was literally his little do little things bitch. He eventually let me roll my own character, and the human warlock was born. Very creative. Anyways, I was around 10 at this time, and it was late vanilla. TBC was about to be released, and the hype train was real. I got my warlock and the help of good old Papa up to 60 in a few weeks. There I was, a glorious lock, ready to shred assholes and take names. Yeah, fear the girls. See, it was actually my dad who leveled my warlock for me, for the most part. Daddy leveled a character for her. Are you sure he didn't just let you play his alt, and you got to name it? I'm just going to put it out there that maybe that's what happened. That he let you pick a name for his alt. And he played it. I had no idea how to play it. There was some guild still grinding out MC for gear. And I managed to convince them to let me join in. I hopped onto TeamSpeak. Well, it's in brackets. Well, my dad did. But when I talked, I was removed from the raid and laughed and kicked from the guild. What reaction would you have to a 10-year-old guild suddenly speaking up on Vent? And realise that you have, in fact, just recruited a 10-year-old girl? You're just going to say no, aren't you? Even if it was a 10-year-old boy. It's not a sex thing. It's not. It's not gender-related. If the 10-year-old speaks up... No. No. Not even MC. Not even Worth. I'm out of there. I'm going. After that, though, the Burning Crusade came and I was determined to be a raider. I was so very, very determined that my dad, who was a casual raider, was attuned to Kara and had a guild that was doing progression there. Just to spite me, he convinced the guild to let me in one day when they were short of DPS. I was in decent gear and it went okay. My dad told me not to speak. He hadn't told the raid that I was his daughter, nor that I was 10 or something. So I went in there, did my thing, and was actually kind of good, I guess. My dad was the raid leader. We all saw that coming. I think I did really well. Nope. And was whining at this lazy rep pally in this Destro lock that was getting raid, saying that a 10-year-old could do better. Oh shit! Daddy's like, you got outplayed by a 10-year-old son? Hey, not gonna let you in on the joke, but a 10-year-old could raid better than you. Oh, motherfuckers, wait till you find out. That's a quality burn. They both took great offense for this for some reason. My dad linked the logs and told me to speak up. I've got to unleash the surprise. The cake's about to be revealed. Speak up and led the next boss. And both of them, along with about 6 others, quit the guild. Whoa, I'm out of here. You would leave if you got outplayed by a 10-year-old girl. You're out. Fuck it. I'm done. It's over. It's fucking over. Hey, I'm not even mad. I'm just leaving. I'm just going to get my coat. I'm going to fuck off out of here. We'll call it a day there. All good. All good. I'm done. I'm leaving. They had their ass handed to them by a little girl. During the Burning Crusade, I eventually learned Affliction to the best of my ability, but switched to demo and cleared everything except BT and Sunwell. Wrath dropped and I joined a guild to start Nax progression. I was 12 now! But boy... Oh, right, it's got a real twatty guild name. I didn't know at the time, but boy, did this guild name match its people. In Raid Team 1, we had the arrogant, pompous assholes who flaunted their unquestionable superiority over the whole server. Team 1 Nax. Very fucking serious. Very serious. Raid Team 2, yeah, had the people still living in their parents' house. Read me. And the no... Oh, you were in Team 2. Makes sense. And the no-life shitlords who just pissed on everyone else. They literally just buried all the scum in Team 2. I don't think it's an issue if you live at home, though. I don't think that makes you Team 2 material. Otherwise, there's a lot of people here who probably belong in Team 2. Am I right, players? You do. You do. You do. You live at home? It should be on the application. That's Team 2. Yeah, you still live with your parents? That's Team 2. That's Team 2. You're out of here. All of you. All of you now. If you weren't sure before today whether you were Team 2 or not, now you know. Okay? Get educated. I joined Team 2. I wasn't cocky enough for Team 1. I like that would be the trial. Talk to me. You're not elitist enough. Team 2. No, you've got to be a total dick to join Team 1. I was the outcast. Kind of on the fringe of the guild that gets everyone surprised when I talk in G-chat. You sound really emo. I'm a fringe raider, yeah? Living on the core. I am nobody's puppet. I played along with the Nax progression for about 2 months until I got sick and tired of the raid leader being a dumb cunt. Get 12-year-old. Get 12-year-old girl, son. I talked to Vent for the first time. My hands were sweaty. I'm not going to say mom spaghetti. I shakily pressed control. Control is your key up button? Ew. And told the raid leader to be quiet. 10-year-old girl. You just got 10-year-old girl. Shut up. Be quiet. We were on Maxina, and I knew the fight like the back of my shaky, sweaty hands. Under my control, she took the lead. We cleared Plague Wing, Arachnid, and most of the other quarter. We almost cleared Naxx under my leadership. Alright? You almost cleared Naxx. Kind of a big deal in Teams 2. My quest to glory as the 12-year-old badass was finally on its way. The raid leader, however, comes back. When I finally wrapped that raid up, he pulled me into a lower channel event. I can't read that. And shouted at me. I'll paste a chat where it says in the story. And then you can understand why I'm not reading that out. Okay? So, yeah, there you go. I'm not uttering the words. How dare a little girl be better than this shitlord? He kicked me from the guild. I ran crying to my dad, of course. He was... I actually cried. I cried. I ran off crying to my dad. He was on one of the better guilds on the server. Who bullied the shit out of my guild. You get it, right? I'm not reading that out. Fast forward to Mr. Pandaria. I'd taken a break during Kata because it sucked massive donkey nuts and came back about 3 months before 5.4 dropped. I tried my hardest to get my Lei Shen kill for the AOTC, ahead of the curve, but to no avail. I got close though. This time I leveled a demo Destro Worgen Warlock to get a better idea of the specs and how different they were from ICC. It was then that I met him. Yeah, there's a silly love story coming in. 14, maybe 15. We're getting. Who wants to be the lover? Anybody? Anybody? August. August can take it on the chin like a man. Like a man. It's not... It's a love story. Now, before you get upset... it's a love story as told from a 14-year-old girl who's a badass. Alright, you ready? It's going to be good. Everybody's up for it. A little bit weird, guys. A little bit weird. Just saying. Just put it out there. Here we go. I'll call him August. August and I had met in trade. I wouldn't even find a guild in trade, let alone the love of my life. We hit it off from the start. We were both in high school. We were both officers. We have so much in common. We're both in school. Both officers, which is kind of a big deal in WoW, right? It's pretty serious. It's pretty serious to be an officer. Not just anybody gets to be an officer in World of Warcraft. Eh? Not just anybody. It's not as if they just sell guild master stuff, is it? It's not like you could just buy a charter. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. You gotta work your way up. And we planned to do flexes as a mingled group. Shall we flex together? Come on. Let's flex together. It didn't work out. Our server was so small, we could never get a flexi group together. It's not that small. It's not that small. Anyways, my terribly elite self breezed through flex eventually with August. We were a thing. We were a thing, kinda. I guess you could say that January after Siege of Ogmar release, by then I was fully flexed geared and ready to get into normals. Yeah? We're on our way. He, however, was struggling in flex. Noob. August, you noob. You're such a noob. Struggling in flex. She's ready for normal mode. Are you ready for that kind of commitment? I don't think you are. I don't think you're ready to step up to the plate. I don't think you're ready to man up and take on normal mode Siege of Orgrimmar. I don't think you're ready, bro. I don't think you're ready. So I had to help a brother out. 8 months to help a brother out with auction house and stuff. Alright. Anyways, 8 months later, he got an IRL girlfriend. Yeah? IRL girlfriend. Drop this flex-bound loser. Get out of my life. He was in Arizona and I in Georgia, so it could have never worked anyways. We just can't have this kind of long-distance relationship at this time of my life. Not while you can't even complete flex mode, right? We can't commit to that. Anyways, his IRL GF found out that him and I were e-banging and got on and lashed at me. Turns out, it was my old guildmaster's sister. You remember him? The raid leader I wrecked when I was 12? She recognised my name and told him the second she realised it was me. And it was then that I realised that she was the mage officer from my old guild. I heard that she'd later coveted her next guild's Tarot Ghost staff in Firelands and was a flaunty arsehole about it to everyone on the server. Yeah, got my Tarot Ghost. Dragon Wrath, bitch. She was especially cunty about me and her boyfriend. And the thought that we spoke even enraged her. She pulled me into vent and was practically spitting in the mic. Swearing up and down that I was the bane of her existence. That's right. High school girl problems in WoW. Prepubescent e-relationships. That's right. And what's worse than that is 2 girls, prepubescent girls, going at it in serious WoW whispers and vent. Pretty serious. She'd always been flirting with another guy named Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell. Curiously, this Pandaren, Will Ferrell, was a female, an RP'd female. I did some digging and found that the girlfriend's alts and Facebook profiles, yeah, were going to Facebook with high school girl problems. Are you on the train? We're going down a track. We're on a track. We're on a road, people, and it ends in Facebook. All right? I alerted, yeah? So I went on, and then I told August about the homo ERP that was going on, which of course then he confronted the girlfriend about, who then told my old raid leader and all of them, and all happened, and then he hopped in Skype together and had what can only be described as a screaming fest. Yeah? We took it to Skype. We went to Facebook. We got the evidence. We started spreading the rumour. We dropped everyone in the shit into Skype. Kicked off big time. Hooah! Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The sister broke up with August. And I pushed August away. August got double fucked. But no, you didn't. Everybody left you, August. Face, right? You got face out. You got faced out. It turns out that the others who were ERPing dated each other for about 3 months. It was later found out. Are you ready? This is such a little girl story. I love it. Found out, and I've never heard this phrase in my life. I apologize. We have a lot of homosexual viewers. I know. That's cool. We don't care. But I've never heard this phrase before, so you guys will probably find it funny as well. Later found out that the original girlfriend was hella homo gay. What? Hella homo gay. I've never heard that. Hella homo gay. Yeah? Hella homo gay. That's a double whammy, people. That's a double whammy. Not only are you homo, but you're also gay. Homo gay. Yeah? That's double gay. Apparently. I've never heard that in my life. Nothing wrong with that. Other than the fact that she used August so he could buy her ass some game time. August. What? 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 You bought a game time for somebody who was hella homo gay, August? What are you doing? Are you kidding me? You walked into the trap. Face. You got outfaced and outplayed, son. August still tries to get with me today. Well, you'd be about 17 now. That's probably legit. The other two still get on. I like to intrude on them sometimes when they're doing their ERP. My old raid leader is still on team 2. On some shit girl doing normal high mall progression. He still whispers me about Nax times and calls me a wanker. Joke's on him because today I am a conqueror of Orgrimmar. The Pandaric Disfreeze. Today I am Herald of the Titans. The Worgen Demo Warlock. Yeah. Today... This is so epic. Let me read it properly. I'm going to read this. I'm going to have to read this as it's written. Are you ready? The joke's on him, though, because today I am the Conqueror of Orgrimmar. The Pandaren Dispriest. Today I am Herald of the Titans. The Worgen Demo Warlock. Today I am almost fully cleared in Heroic Highwall. Today I am 18. I am a guild master, a raid leader, 2,000 in PvP in my first season and the best at the game that I can be right now. That's who I am today. Who are you today? Ask yourself that question. And that brings us to the end of Drama Time. I thank you. I thank you. Thank you. We took it there. We went on a hell of a road. That was so cool. I love it. That is the end of Drama Time, the end of my live stream for the week. Come here, buddy. Hey. Oh, he's really good. I'm not chasing you. I'm not chasing you. Come here. Oh, he wants his mummy. He wants his dinner. He wants his dinner. We learnt new words today, Moo.
Moo didn't.
Well, we didn't. We did. As a community, we learnt many new terms. We got the remote. Yay. It did go quick. Thank you all so much for a wonderful Drama Time. I'm off to enjoy my weekend. There's no live streaming this weekend as far as I know. But there will be soon enough. Don't you worry about it. Dada. That's right. It's Dada. You see Dada? See, he's talking. That's badass, right?
He's trying to turn you off.
He's trying to turn me off with the remote control. Take it easy, guys. Have a wonderful weekend. Do something special. You can't turn me off, but thank you anyway. He does look like me. He's got the bum chin. All right, guys. See you later. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye bye.